Right from small file to biggest database, it is connecting to each and every type of data source. Okay, so somehow you have collected your data. Now you were able to pick 100 observations using SAS. Okay, using SAS you are able to pick 100 healthy volunteers. This is one example where you are using SAS in a real-time scenarios. One simple example you can use SAS. Okay, right. Now you got 100 healthy volunteers. Correct. So done. Okay. So 100 healthy volunteers is done. Now suppose if I am dosing 500 mg, what happens? Because it is an animal, it was able to resist. I can't exactly expect the same with human beings also. Now what I am going to do is this 100 healthy volunteers, I am going to divided it into 5 groups. So each group will have how many observations, how many subjects? 20. Obviously, when I say group 5 groups, you will get 20 in each group. So group 1, 20 people. So I am very much afraid because my primary objective is please don't hurt others. That too, this person is a healthy volunteer. If anything is happened to this healthy volunteer, people will kill us. The real-time scenarios, particularly when we are doing any trial in Indian market, so if anything is happening, the relatives will come, they will break down your hospital. Right, they'll charge you like anything. So anyways, it is also strictly not allowed in clinical trials also. What we do is we take only 50 mg of dose. So real time scenarios, if any drug, whatever the drug we are taking, it is at least having 500 mg, right? So still I doubt, I should not harm others. So I take very minor dose 50 mg. So this 50 mg I'll dose it to 20 people and I'll keep this 20 people in observation. So whether these people are experiencing any side effects. Side effects in a real-time scenarios, we call it as adverse events. The correct terminology is adverse events. Okay. So whether any of the people is getting adverse events? No. All these 20 people are absolutely fine. That is good. Then I take another group of 20 people. Okay. This time I dose 150 mg to this group. Okay. Again I'll put this in observation. So that is fine. If they are okay, then I'll go with group 3. Group 3 is 250 mg. If they are okay, that is fine. If they are not okay, I'll stop this here. I'll say 250 mg is only fine for humans. If they are okay, what I'll say? Group 4. Group 4, I'll go with 500 mg. If they are okay, then group 5, I'll go with 1000 mg. So after taking 1000 mg, people started saying we got gastric pain, we got burning sensation in stomach. Some people say they got headache, they got nausea. Okay. So now here adverse events started. Adverse events started. Whenever adverse events started, I say 1000 mg is not safe for human beings. Please go with only for 500 mg dose. Okay, so this is your phase 1 trial. Phase 1 trial is also called as dose proportionality studies. Phase 1 studies are also called as dose proportionality studies because we are proportionately increasing our dose. Okay, right. Phase 1 trials are also called as dose proportionality studies. Once this trial is okay, I confirm 500 mg of XYZ is safe to humans. As per this trial, my safety is approved, right? My primary objective is done. Okay, right. So likewise, I'll assess my primary objective. Second one is phase 2. So in phase 2, we will find the response of subject towards drug after taking drug. So here we will do this trial on patients. Okay, on patients we do this trial. But we take in a limited number, because these are patients. If here and there anything is happening, wickets will go down, right? Fine. So that is the reason we do only limited number of people. We select only limited number of people. Suppose to say some 500 to 2000 people. That's it. So these numbers are only approximation. Again, it depends upon drug variability. These numbers are depending upon drug variability. So the numbers are only approximation, I would say 500 to 2000 people. If these 2000 people are cured with this XYZ, then they go for phase 3. Otherwise, they have to go back in the beginning. Formulations development, they have to go back. So now my phase 2 trial is success. If it is success, I'll move to phase 3. If it is failure, what I have to do? Again, I have to start from the beginning. From formulations development, again I have to do. Okay, right. So suppose to say phase 2 is done. Now I'll do the trial in phase 3. So you are going to repeat the same trial but with maximum number of subjects. Same trial with maximum number of subjects. Next, phase 4. We have one more phase called, if phase 3 is okay, then you can sell this product in the market. It depends upon the drug variability of the molecule. Okay, sometimes it can be 20,000 subjects, sometimes it can be 15,000, sometimes it can be 5,000. Depends upon the inter-subject variability and intra-subject variabilities. So these are two statistical terms. Depending upon the study design, we have two types of variabilities. If you are doing a parallel design, here comes the concept inter-subject variability. If it is a crossover trial, we have intra-subject variability. Going forward, you will learn all these things, no worries. Because I am a master's in statistics, at least the only one advantage you have is, so because I am a guy from statistics, I'll explain you 3 to 4 classes in statistics. So that will have a very added advantage. So once you are understanding the concept, you will understand for which type of data, which concept you have to use. So that gives you a lot of experience as well. So this is one extra advantage you have in when you are going to interviews. Okay, right. And phase 4 trials are called as post-marketing trials. So do you know what is post-marketing trials? Yes. After releasing this product into the market, after 1 or 2 years, again we will do a research whether this molecule is causing any harm to subject, yes or no. Because we are taking a lot of intake, right? So suppose to say if you are taking 10 tablets, so 10 into 500 mg, 5000 mg. So is it causing any side effects to the subject, yes or no? So likewise, after phase 4 trials, some painkillers were banned. Ibuprofen, Nimslid. Okay, so there are many trials which are banned after phase 4 trials. Most of the painkillers has lot of side effects here. In phase 4 trials, most of the painkillers will come. So that is why always don't take painkillers. Okay, strictly advised. Combiflam is also one drug which is out of phase 4 trial, which is out of market. But daily if it is available in Indian market, we are using it. Okay, Nimslid is available, Combiflam is available, Ibuprofen is available. All these drugs are banned in US because these drugs are having side effects. But Indian government, I don't know when they realize, banned. Yes, almost like 200 drugs were banned. And in foreign countries also, most of the people, they give only less dose. People who are going and settling there, they give 200 mg, they will not fit our body also. So this might be, many of people might have experienced this. Their people, they will give only limited dose. But here, without we are taking 500 mg, our dose will not be, our disease, like whatever problem we have, it will not be cured. Our bodies are tended to have 500 mg dose. Then only our bodies will respond, otherwise no. So this is all about your clinical trial domain. Okay. Coming to SaaS, coming to technology. So any questions from domain perspective? Any questions from domain perspective? So are we using SAS in clinical trial? Are we using SAS in clinical trial? Right?
Yeah.